Morning, Britain. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I've just torn Brian away from Joe Wicks. That's why he's drinking water out of a wine glass now. I don't know if you clocked that. It's definitely not wine. I hope you're all alright today. Thank you so much for all the wonderful comments we had yesterday about our great big morning meeting. We just want to try and help everybody as much as we possibly can, and we're going to carry on until someone says, you guys should give it a rest out.
But it's also helping us as well, because it's really helping us focus on things and giving us something to do. We've got lots to do, but actually giving us something to get ready for and get up for in the morning.
And we actually, it is making us get up, but it also, it made me feel really positive yesterday that we'd obviously had some great conversations both on this session but also on the calls that I had afterwards as well. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
So those of you that have been in the group this morning already, bright and early, will know that I made a great big morning meeting sheet.
She did it with crayons and sticky back plastic to begin with, after watching reruns of Blue Peter, but well done.
But basically, I just got you this because I thought you might want to fill it in. I mean, I know that's like colour printing at home.
A form, you say? Yay! Just what the world needs is another form.
Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Jack, by the way. Hi, Eric. Hello, Sarah. Oh, it's great to see so many people on. Absolutely chuffed. Okay, so we, as always, want to try and keep this to a short amount of time because Brian has another morning meeting at 9:30. So we're going to run it down. We're going to do a similar theme to what we did yesterday. We're going to cover Brian's good news story. We're going to talk about the theme for the day, which Olivia Cook has very kindly asked us to cover, which is morale and motivation. And then we're going to give you our top tips for things to keep the kids entertained, your own learning, and of course, the good old binge watch that is absolutely necessary in these strange times of being locked indoors.
Crazy times, yeah. Crazy times.
So at the top of your sheet, those of you who've got it, we've got today's conversation target, that's for you to fill in. Today's exercise mission, also for you to fill in, because I made this one go for a run yesterday. And today's main task, and that's just, those are for you to fill in, okay, but I thought to keep it all in one place. But in the pink box, we've got Brian's good news story. Brian. What's your good news story? Although you've got loads today, I believe.
I have got loads, yeah. I'm in really super positive mode today, which I mean, those of you that know me, I'm quite a positive person anyway. She calls me Victor Meldrew quite a lot. But yeah, so the best bit of news this morning, and I have to confess, I will tell you the truth about this. I got really delighted. I was trying to watch the news or read the news whilst I'm not wearing my glasses because I'm getting old now, so I have to wear reading glasses sometimes. And I got really excited and shouted to Sarah that Savills had reopened their office in Wigan. And wasn't that great that the fact that, the first office in the UK to reopen, then it dawned on me after shouting it out what an absolute prat that I'd been, because it was Savills office in Wuhan. Well, I couldn't see it without my glasses. I don't take them everywhere I go. And but that's still good news. So I still felt that made it to, my good news box this morning.
Okay.
So Savills have reopened the first agency office, first British estate agency business to reopen a branch that they've shut in Wuhan, which is the first of many, hopefully.
And do you know how long they've been closed for?
I think it's about 3 months.
Right, okay.
So maybe a bit longer than, but that, the point's not about that bit.
And also
it's on the brighter side, the fact they've reopened.
I was just trying to help the guys get an angle, and it is a fantastic story that they're open. Yeah. And the thing is, they had it a lot worse than they did as well. So terrible. So that's really good.
But that's good news, right? So that's made my list.
What was my amazing story? Oh, it wasn't amazing, but it was good news. Those business owners out there, and also everybody else, of course. I posted this on the group yesterday, but business rates, the fact that we're going to get a business rate holiday from the 1st of April 2020 through to April 2021 is probably a very welcome relief to a lot of people out there. And I don't know about you guys, but what I've realised in all of this is that we're all in a great big supply chain, and everything knocks on to affect the next person and the next person and the next person. And I think the business rates holiday, as well as obviously being a positive thing for estate agents, obviously, because it means that we don't have another outgoing every month, is actually the fact that It's going to help other businesses as well retain more staff, which will mean that more of your tenants or your potential home movers are going to keep their jobs and therefore be able to move home. So generally, that whole news about business rate relief is really, really positive as well.
Can you just all make some comments on there? That it says Brian's good news story rather than Sarah's good news story. I thought we've only got like a few minutes, so you've already hijacked the bit I was doing.
No.
I spent ages looking that up.
Be nice.
The other bit of good news that's made the story, and there's two this morning, is the fact that Michael Gove, who's the Minister for the Cabinet Office, has obviously said, and some of you hopefully have read this story, and this is quite close to the work I'm doing at the moment, has said that obviously if you have properties in your pipeline, in your sales pipeline, that have or about to exchange or have exchanged where there's issues with completion, he's giving the go-ahead to carry on with completions and people can move, subject to a few caveats, such as one of the parties in the transaction doesn't physically have the coronavirus or is in self-isolation because they have symptoms. So it's well worth that. I know we've posted this in the group. I'm doing a very important webinar tomorrow morning for about 45 minutes at 11 o'clock with the Law Society to shed some light on how to give the right advice to your customers on pipelines. It's free. You're welcome to join me if you like. I think we've had about 500 people sign up for it, so it's quite a big one. Anyway.
Okay, so moving on. Hopefully that's given you some good news for the morning to make you feel positive, but there are some really good positive stories out there. So moving on, theme for the day, we're going to do and talk about, because Liv from Harrison's in Sittingbourne has asked us to do so. Sorry Liv, I proper name dropped you there. Morale and motivation. Okay, so a few of you, and not just Liv, have contacted us just to say, can you jump on a call with us, on our Zoom calls with our team? We just need to lift the spirits a little bit, because this is uncharted territory for estate agents, right? Yeah. We go to people's houses, we meet people, we love that face-to-face, and being in a house constantly, it's probably our idea of hell, in all honesty. Not for some of you, I saw a couple of people who were binge watching Netflix during the day yesterday, but generally it's our idea of hell, right? So what we wanted to give you was some top tips. So if you haven't got a pen, definitely grab one now.
That's a top tip, isn't it? You should have a pen.
Yeah, that's why we've got these sheets. But grab a pen, because we're going to give you just literally our rundown of top ways to boost morale, boost motivation. Some of them are serious, some of them hopefully are a little bit funny or light-hearted anyway. So the main thing about morale and motivation is breaking everything down into bite-sized chunks. Just having one call in the morning with the rest of your team is probably not going to be enough. Lots of little calls during the day, and we mentioned using Slack yesterday as well, didn't we, Brian? Having that opportunity to just check in with people regularly and set mini little tasks. And don't be afraid to change it up as well. So bite-sized chunks and change it up are my starter for 10. Brian?
Yeah, no, I think so. I think it's kind of carrying on from the theme we said yesterday. It was wonderful to get involved yesterday with a number of different agencies and their groups, and we joined some Zoom conferences. Ryan, stop sending me WhatsApp messages, by the way, they're rude. Actually, keep sending me WhatsApp messages, they were funny. It's really just to keep that theme going. I mean, it's really important that, as we said yesterday, that we keep contact with people, but share the success stories that the day brings. Don't leave them to the end of the day. Check in at sort of certain points. At 9:30 you do the meeting now, 12 o'clock, what's been good so far, look for the good in the business at the moment.
I think that's a really good point. So obviously we're still trying to encourage our clients to set mini targets, but we're calling them more sort of like aims of what would good look like rather than a target, because it seems like quite a bad time to have.
Yeah, don't set viewing targets for obvious reasons,
But just having an aim.
Yeah.
So I jumped on a call yesterday with the business, and we all set our aim for the rest of the afternoon. And interestingly enough, off the back of that, I even wrote down what my aims were for the afternoon. So what am I going to achieve by the end of today to feel like I've fulfilled what I should have done today?
Yeah. Was it filling a form? Making a form? Is it that one of them?
Made this morning.
Right.
So definitely sort of keeping those bite-sized chunks and keeping that connectivity with your colleagues going. Another big one is...
Can I just say, sorry, something that on that point about small successes, and a couple of agencies have done this already, which I was really pleased to see yesterday, is set contact targets rather than business result targets in a way. Rather than just think about this at the moment, rather than setting you need to get a valuation or you need to get a mortgage appointment or you need to get a viewing, of course we need all those things, but just recognise the time that we're in and revise that. Speak to 20 people on a database that haven't been spoken to in the last 3 months. Try to find out people that are genuinely motivated when we come out of this virus, as we will, that are still keen to buy. Research the best mortgage rates and just go and tell people. Share news rather than try and sell to them. And I think you might find you'll see some interesting results.
Conversations, not calls.
Conversations, not calls.
That's what we realised we'd got wrong yesterday. We talked about calls. Obviously, you've got to pick up the phone, but actually concentrate on the conversation rather than how many sort of calls are you making. Top tips to keep your kids entertained. Some of you will already know this.
Lock them in a cupboard. Sorry.
The Brian Mansell version of schooling. Top tips for kids' entertainment, right? I obviously don't have any children apart from this adult child here, and you've probably all seen this anyway, but just to reassure you, David Walliams is releasing a new kids' storybook for free every day for 30 days, and he's pretty cool. I've actually read Gangster Granny, I think, being the sort of adult child that I am also.
That's good, that's really good.
Yeah, it's really great. So so it's to get them reading, and it sounds fantastic. So I'll share all these links, but just for that. Our tech recommendation of the day.
Well, it's a bit an obvious one, but it's Zoom, isn't it?
It is an obvious one, but a few people said they weren't using it yesterday in the group, which I mentioned to it. And also, I found out yesterday that you can use Zoom and Facebook Live. Who knew?
Right.
That was another top tip from Rob Brady. So I'm going to investigate that because we might look at doing that, especially if we have a quiz later in the week.
We did talk about Slack yesterday, and I use Slack with the business, and we all video conference through Slack. We jump on calls. It's really good as well.
Yeah. So Zoom and Slack are so far our tech tips. Now, I couldn't sleep last night, so I was patrolling the internet as I do at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I found something absolutely fantastic. And you'll know we believe in learning, okay, and actually bettering yourself constantly. And the Open University have got a free resource with loads of free courses. I can't tell you, I was astounded. I think it's amazing that they've done that. So I'm going to share that with you, and I'm actually going to take everything from German to architecture. There's so many courses. So
You're going to take German?
I'm not going to take German.
Yeah. Ich bin Brian.
Right, book.
Yes, but no, I was going to also.
Brian?
Yes, I was just going to.
Sorry, he's obviously got bored of the call.
No, I was going to just share that with people as well.
Can we do that another day?
All right, we'll do it tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you. So, reading and listening.
I'm going to have a help me sign tomorrow. Right, reading and listening. Yes, that will never work.
It's a book by Mark Randolph. He was the founder. Sorry, Brian.
Do you want to do it? I'll tell you what. Goodbye, everybody. You crack on. The Sarah Show. Does it say that on anywhere on the title? Okay, That Will Never Work is Mark Randall. Audible is one of my favourite bits of tech. I listen to it all the time because I work a lot in London when we're allowed to go there, and I walk around the tube with my AirPods. That Will Never Work is a story of Netflix. Great book. Mark Randolph was doing all sorts of things, including selling dog food before he decided to have a crack at online video streaming. I see a connection there. Well worth a look, definitely.
It's really inspirational, I think.
And the final recommendation you were going to make?
Binge watching recommendation today. The Stranger. Loads of you have already watched it, some of you haven't. Awesome. Some of you got set the task of doing it last night when I was on a call with you. It is so good. Definitely well worth a watch. The Stranger, and that's a Netflix one as well. There's going to be quite a lot of activity in the group today. Brian's really late for a call, which is why he's looking agitated.
We said a quarter of an hour we're going to help these people out. They've got businesses to run. We're now running 10 minutes over time because you can't shut up. So
really angry today, isn't he?
Come on.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully this has been of use. We're just going to keep doing the same thing every day. Good news, theme for the day, and top tips. And hopefully that will help you get through this, and we'll all get through it together.
A big shout out to the Brazilian police. So I don't think they've tuned in for this, but they found people on a beach yesterday, and instead of actually running after them, they got a helicopter out and they flew the helicopter so low it created a sandstorm and pushed everybody off the beach, which I think is just legendary.
Please help.
So,
how many days are we into this self-isolation? Help. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you all tomorrow morning.
Target chats with customers, not just physically calls. Cool, bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.